Ayo, what's outside is within. The mind regulates the hand that masters the pen. The pen is mightier than the sword, but the tongue is mightier still. The stargate to the mind's revealed. The vortex.
Yeah, I was just putting that there as well.
Yeah. So we're all about the storytelling, you know. When we talk about hip hop, so I want to tell the story of this thing here, this cassette. Yeah, you're looking at this. This is old school Walkman. Yeah, old school. Those who know, you put the headphones in the socket there, and you listen to your rhythm and tune. But we remix the Walkman, and out of that comes the cassette. This cassette is the SuperOrganic story. Yeah. If you have a cassette player, you pop that open. Boom, that's you. Yeah. A side, B side, all of that on here. But we move that aside. We used to make things, we love inlays, yeah? So we told a story of who we are. This is it. SuperOrganic in the studio. These are just images of the various musicians, poets, MCs, beat makers, all drawn by Tim Bull, live in the studio. That's the process. This is the outcome. When you come out of the studio, you must share and perform, yeah? So these are images of A-Hearts, myself, Ebony, my guy Marcus, Joseph, musicians, creatives, all live on stage at SuperOrganic. So, different levels, always leave a mark, create your legacy. We put this back together again. Pop your cassette back in. And for my Gen Zs, they wouldn't know where to put this. Some of them just don't know about the physical assets, yeah? So, if you ever see the cassette, don't panic. All you have to do is scan that QR code. When you scan that Walkman starts to play the music.
Alright.
Simple things. So everyone's involved, man. We're living in a world of digital and we're living in a world of analog. And it's a bridge. And if we build that bridge, everyone can cross back and forth. The youngers can know what came before them. And the elders, they can remember, but they can also tap into the energy of how music can move digitally, space to space, without no need for physical distribution. So we can get it both ways, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just wanted to share that. That was like the first evidence of our excellence. Like what happened in the basement was the basement.
Right.
But if you had to be there to know it, but I wanted to find a way to tell the story to those who hadn't been yet.
Right.
So we did that, and we're going to get into the film, which we made, the SuperOrganic Tale of the Tape film, which we're premiering, and then the 3rd anniversary where we're actually returning to the music making, creating back to the lab, original music, original sounds, man.
Dopeness, brother.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's just jump straight into it. I wrote a little something before, just like a little intro. So I was saying, today we sit down with a man who wears many titles. Presenter, producer, curator, mentor. But they all lead back to one thing: transformation. From interviewing global icons to building cultural movements like SuperOrganic and Transformative, Storyteller, Fusion has redefined what it means to turn creativity into community. This one's about story, spirit, and the power of reinvention. So, this first piece that...
Can I just soak that in like so much sunshine, my brother? Seriously, this is a season of gratitude for me. You know?
Respect, brother.
And I've known you for more than a minute. You know, we go back as producer, as MC, and as hip hop lovers. But no, thank you for the introduction, King. I think I landed, man. That's
yeah, man. Yeah.
Still.
No problem, bro. So this first part is like, I call it Act 1, and this is like the origins, you know, the many selves. You've worn a lot of hats: presenter, journalist, producer, curator, facilitator. But when the noise quietens, who is Fusion at the core?
I feel all those roads meet in transformation. You know, growing up not far from here, I'm a Tottenham youth. Like, you know, my parents made a life in North London. My mum from the Philippines, my dad from St. Vincent, the Caribbean. And they wanted to create a better life for themselves. And I was blessed to be born with very visionary parents. And I wanted to make my mark. As a quiet youth, making my mark was using my imagination. So I've always seen the power of imagining better for me and better for mine. So all of those are about creating better realities. You know, as a journalist, you tell me your story, that's trust. I have to turn your words into letters and sentences and paragraphs,
Yeah.
and then it gets printed and shared, and then your story's told through a different medium.
Yeah.
When I used to be on BBC as a correspondent, I would have a chance to give people a window into the culture that week on certain people's shows. And when I got blessed to play and make music, I was amplifying the sounds of the people that I admired and respected. So it was always about how stories can change lives. And that's what I'm here to do. It's just to change my life and be the example and inspire others to make the change that can make their life a better life as well. And it's just a continual thread through my life.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
That's nice, brother. What does the word super organic mean to you? Not just as a brand, but as a feeling, as a philosophy.
I'm going to enjoy this interview, you know. I'm going to enjoy it because I'm with a wordsmith and I'm a crafter of words. Words are alchemy.
Right.
You know, like, man them will tell you when you spell a word, you're casting a spell. You know, words are etymology. Each word you use has a root.
Yes.
You know, if you go to the root, you get the deeper meanings. So when I thought about Super Organic 3 years ago, I was just going through my mind, what would I call the new thing? And I didn't want to make it an old school name because I felt it would make it difficult for new people to get it, too nostalgic. I want to make it too modern because modern will pass and then it will become old. So what is the name Super Organic actually means? If you look at the actual dictionary definition, it's a real word. It's not even a made-up compound thing. It's a real word.
That's right.
Word. And the meaning of super organic is an entity that has many elements, but all those elements must be together for it to work.
Right.
It's a super organism.
Right.
So there's no one thing that makes the whole thing great. All of it makes it everything. And that to me was important. So that's the philosophy, that we all make it the incredible thing that it is. Whether you're the DJ, the MC, the poet, the musician, you're on the door, whether you're in the audience, call and response, you all create the frequency together. It's organic in that it's natural. You know, the feeling we get in that room is a spirit balance. I always say if you come to our dance and you had a bad day, you will leave feeling better. If you came good, you will leave feeling ecstatic.
Yeah.
So if you have a vibration, pass the energy on. So it's about upliftment as well. So it's organic energy. And you know, Superman, super duper fly, super great. You know, Super's always been amazing. Superman, Superwoman. You know.
That's
so,
right. Yeah.
Yeah. All of that makes it super organic.
Yeah.
It's natural, good vibes. Yeah.
You've transitioned from being a face in front of the camera to the architect behind the vision. What pushed you to move from storyteller to story builder?
I was always story builder.
Okay.
I was always story builder. I said at the beginning of the chat that I was like a very quiet introvert child with a big imagination. So my movie set was in my mind. All the characters existed in my head, and I was happy painting and creating these worlds. At the age of 6, I was doing oil paintings.
Wow.
And my mum kept a painting I did at about the age of 7, and she hangs it in one of her rooms. And I look at it as a grown man now with deep fascination, because it's a landscape with a field in the distance. There's a beach. Beyond that is the sea. There's a lighthouse. There's a tree in the corner. There's a rickety fence. I'm 7. I'm not being countryside. I don't know about what I'm looking at.
I was just about to say, was that you just freestyling?
Bruv, it was me being me to the fullest.
Yeah.
No one told me I was right or wrong. I was me.
Right.
So I was drawing like Stevie, these inner visions. I'd never seen these places. So reality is a shock. When someone says, you know, create that for me or manifest this, and then you feel a pressure. That's society. So for me, I was always the architect and the story builder. But you get to a certain age in your life where you have to show up. You have to go on the football pitch and kick the ball. And if you miss, everyone's shouting at you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to run track and you either come in first or last or somewhere in between. So you got to show up in the world. So I showed up as a journalist, as a music writer.
Yeah.
And then the world said, you're the one who's supposed to go in front of the screen. And I was like, who, me? I'm not going to argue with it. I'm going to show up. So I ended up on MTV Base.
Man.
And I didn't want to be on TV. There's nothing in my being. Remember back in the day, it was a party. No one had a phone to film, so you just drinking your Courvoisier, have a little
That's
whatever.
right. Yeah.
There was always one person with a hench camera.
Yeah,
One person had a little.
yeah.
I would duck down like that. Like, don't put that camera on me. My spirit don't like cameras, but my spirit believes in truth. So if I'm holding the truth, if there's something that you're doing that's important, and you've told me, then you empower me to be an advocate of you. And if I keep my mouth silent and I don't advocate for you, I'm not being truthful. So when hip hop, like Dead Prez hip hop, Wu-Tang hip hop, Nas hip hop, and someone says, if you don't speak to the world how great this culture is, who will do it? I said, I'll do it as best I can.
Yeah.
And we weren't great at it. Me and T-Max were not the best presenters. But every week I worked on it. And I got to a point towards the end when we were in LA and we're with Wu-Tang Clan on the set for Gravel Pit. We're with Mac 10. We're with Raz Kaz. We're with people under the stairs, alcoholics. And the last day we find the guy we were looking for, Exhibit. And we so happened to be in the studio with Dr. Dre.
Mad.
And we're handling business as presenters, giving world exclusives.
Yeah.
So it's about the journey. I was not who I was supposed to be.
Yeah.
I was who I was, and I grew to who I was supposed to be. So I became a face card.
Right.
But in my heart, I was always a storyteller and a story builder.
Yeah.
So now I've gone back to building the stories, and I can go to the front to draw people in.
Yes, I hear you.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you said that, because I was going to say you've interviewed like legends like Beyonce, Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
But what was the turning point when you realised that the story you wanted to tell was your own?
I'm still realising. I'm still realising. Like, I've been an advocate for so many people.
Yeah.
And quite often, the most giving people think that's their MO. Like, but a lot of the people who have given have never received.
Yeah.
That is why they give.
Yeah.
Because they are healing a wound or they're exploring an idea. That which I never had, I must see what it is in the world. So you give. And only a handful of people in my life, I say a handful, literally a handful of people in my life have turned around and said, you have given so much service, what can we do for you? And that lights up a human being.
Yeah. Definitely.
So most time you see me on my square, standing on my square in my bag, is because someone says, I want you to shine. Because whenever I go to, I want to shine, the settings are wrong.
I hear you.
There's a certain frequency when it becomes the I that is a different energy.
Yeah.
And I've not enjoyed that.
I hear you, brother. I hear you.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I just say when I center myself sometimes, it isn't always in alignment with my mission. So for me, it's, I want to give, but when I give, I want to include myself. That's where it works. You know, everyone must eat, but I must keep a plate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you come back and say, have you eaten? I say, I got me a plate. Because in this life, some people are terribly hungry, bro. And I've learned not to judge that. If I put all the food out there and I go and do stuff, someone might assume I've eaten. Someone might assume I kept a plate. So they just indulge. And then I come back and say, rah, no one thought about me. Well, you could have thought about you. So if I include myself, then I must eat first and serve.
I hear you.
I must put a plate aside for me. But when we ask people to love us, they may not have the intellect or the ability or the means. They might be so hungry. So that's the grace walk now. It's like, look after yourself. The whole thing, that analogy about put on your air, you know what I mean? The air mask, you know, in the situation where a plane's in turbulence or in danger. I was like, no, you want to look after somebody else. But if you're blacking out like that, no one can help you, bro. You're a liability.
Absolutely right. That's absolutely right, brother.
So
I like those breakdowns, bro, because it's the truth.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't have the capacity, or maybe they don't want to be that guy to try to sit down and analyze, because sometimes to be reflective and look at self is very hard to do.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I realise the discomfort it causes when I talk to certain people. And this may be the first time, maybe in a long time, they've had that deep dive, deep look. So if that's your superpower, walk with it with grace.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Self-examination. Like, one of my favourite authors is James Baldwin.
Right.
As a man whose whole life was an exercise in self-examination so others might understand themselves better. And his work stood the test of time. He walked at the same time as Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. Both of those ideologies are about. But when people look at today's society, much of what James Baldwin was saying is the navigation tool. How you move through intersections, how you are marginalized and find a path that everyone can benefit from. You know, so you know, you learn as you go, man. Yeah.
Dopeness, brother. Alright, so I wanted to move into section Act 2, I like to call it, the vision building world, yeah? SuperOrganic blends golden era hip hop, spoken word and jazz into something immersive. What was the first moment you realised this fusion actually worked and that it moves people?
It was just me being honest. You know, I'm excited for 2025, 2026 for this hip hop renaissance, this golden era renaissance. You know, you saw Redman come back, you saw Nas back with Preem, you know, things were happening. But right now we're in the midst of this incredible moment. You know, Raekwon, Ghost, Return of the Clips.
That's right.
And then in the UK, you know, enough artists are being consistent and great in what they're doing. So, I don't know, I mean, for me, I was always in love with hip hop, even in the tough times. It's like a relationship when things aren't going well, but you're not going to say nothing bad about who you're with because you love them through the tough times.
That's right.
So I always wanted to shine a light on the consciousness of hip hop. Because I feel every other version of hip hop was bright. The gangster thing, the material thing, the road thing. People say, yeah, I see it, I hear it. Some artists really speaking into those spaces. But for the conscious thing, every artist from a conscious era either got knocked down by a system or got buried by a system. So Public Enemy should be a much bigger group.
Of course.
KRS-One should be a much bigger artist.
Yeah.
But those artists don't have the visibility that, say, an NWA would have. You know what I mean? They don't. Where's the Public Enemy biopic in the cinemas? You get it?
For real, that's mad.
They don't have that.
No,
you know, yet this group was like groundbreaking and still is. You know? So for me, I wanted to champion the underdog. So the conscious thing. Like, yeah. Any artist stepping on our stage, the energy's got to be like upwards. Real, you can talk about the roles, dramas, life, stress, but it's got to point in the direction of progress. Right? Now, my walk took me to spoken word world. You know, there's probably called Miss Yankee, there's a couple of other people from the scene that when I first started popping my head out, because I kind of came up with 3+1 poets, Short Man, Flowetry. These were the poets of a particular time. And the resurgence of poetry, I was around, so I saw people like Broken Pen, Just Ori, Miss Yankee, YA, and I was like, this is where truth lives now. Like, there's no music, but what they're saying is as edgy and as conscious of the stuff I grew up on. So I immersed myself in that scene. And then I was working in a jazz organisation, and they were like having me hosting all these jazz events, and I started to understand that some of it is non-verbal, but the rebellion and the passion and the freedom is in improv. Yeah. So when I got a chance to have a space, I took everything I learned and I fused it. So I took the poetry freedom, I took the improv energy, and I took the consciousness of the hip hop, and I invited all those people into the space and said, let's coalesce. Let's see what can happen. And I pulled out a new drum machine. You know what I mean? Just got it ready, plugged it all in. God bless my MPC 2000 XL. It just passed out, man. I'm trying to revive it still. So anyone out there knows how to get an MPC 2000 XL back and popping, let me know. But I got my new drum machine and I plugged it in and pressed play, pressed on. Got busy.
Back in business.
Yeah.
Most probably like you never left.
No, definitely like I'd left. You know what I mean? Like, I used to skateboard and like I would have certain tricks on Smash. And then I remember some youth go past on a board. I said, let me jump on your board. And it wasn't like I couldn't do the trick, it just hurt, bruv.
Right.
It just hurt. You just felt a little twinge there, like, you know what I mean? So yeah, getting back into the discipline of this hip hop thing was it was healthy, but it was a lifestyle change because I'd acquired other skills, but I had to repattern and get back into turning on the machine after a hard day and just making a rhythm. You know what I mean? Rather than just sinking into the chair and watch a documentary or chill.
Yeah.
You know, you got more creativity to do. Yeah.
You often talk about storytelling as transformation. What does transformation look like to you? Is it personal, collective, or spiritual?
It's all of it. It's all of it. It's a great question. I think it's all of it for me. But everyone's tuned into a different level, you know, of it. When I mentor some people, I can see what will come if they go the path. But they will have a moment of revelation, which I will share with them, but I knew it to be so. You know, other people have a goal they have not revealed to you, and they just need something from you right now. They need a technical piece of mentoring to refine the skill, but there's a fire that burns in them, that they have a goal. They may know it, it's just not, it's not for you. They're just passing through and they want to kind of go through that chamber and benefit from that. And some people are so blown away by their purpose that they run from it, which can feel like a down waste of time.
Yeah.
When you prepare someone to go through a door that the light's so bright they run from that door. But to know yourself, even if you don't want to be yourself, is still more important than to just be lost in the darkness. But I think we as a people, you know, melanated people, we're looking for a change because we complain a lot. We march, we cuss, we rebel, we counter culture. And we're looking for a culture that we don't have to rebel against or one we can participate fully in. So for me, that transformation is purpose. We all have to be agents of change. And that change has to be something that pleases us as a people. So I want my mum to be proud of the man I've become. I want the woman by my side to see her and lifting me. That's behind every great man is an incredible woman.
That's right.
I want her to feel purpose-led in supporting my ambitions. You know, when I go into schools, the young people who hear me talk to them about, you know, their own skills and capacities, I want them to follow me on socials and still see the same essence of that person. And I want the contradictions to be unexplainable.
Right.
So when I think about transformation, it's alignment with purpose and letting go of the things that no longer serve you and embracing the things that will make you who you, the best version of who you see in the mirror.
I like that, man.
Yeah, someone had a bar about what a caterpillar sees as its death is what we see as the birth of the butterfly. Yeah, and that as a concept I love, because people are terrified of the end of who they know they are. You know, I'm from the ends, I'm from this, I'm with this person, I do those things. But you ask them, do those things serve you, or did they serve you? There's another great analogy I loved, which was like, the boat that got you to the shore is not what you carry on the land. You know, so thank you for the block that made me, thank you for the trauma that gave me a resilience, but I don't want to walk into the next part carrying trauma. I don't want to carry the burden of some long done beef as I go to a place where someone just sees me as possibility. You know, so we've got some work to do, and that's the transformation.
Dopeness. Through transformative storytelling, you help others find their own narrative. Yeah.
Please and thank you. Yes.
How do you protect your creative energy while amplifying everyone else's?
I think you have to ask yourself, why am I giving? Because what is given will be consumed. It's going to be taken. I've had people attempt to pattern me. As I've shared myself, they have discovered something about me and they've tried to be those things. And I'm like, it is attractive to see someone
You know, there's a certain gravitational pull. You're a nice MC. You got bars. You got talent. So if I'm around you and then you start spraying some bars, and then I see the crowd go mad, I want to be an MC. But do I want to be an MC because you're good? Or do I want to be an MC because when I embody the words, I will be great? And when it stops being trendy, or the scene dies down, will I go and find the next thing to do? Will I be true to MCing? And I think what makes you great is in any season you're a man of words.
Right.
What I struggle with is when people try and pattern the height of what you do, but don't want to put the foundational work in that you put in to get to that height.
Yes.
They want all the highs, but don't want to put in any of the work.
That's right.
So that on an ego flex was annoying. Because I didn't bring you around me to be like me. I'm being me so you can be you.
Real talk.
Yeah.
They just want the. It sounds like they just want the finish line. They don't want the. They don't want the race.
100%, 100%, and it's a confusing thing because when people observe you, they say, "Never argue with fools," because from a distance, no one can tell who's who. So when you're next to someone doing what you're doing, everyone's gonna think, you and him is the same, or you and her is the same. It's like we're not the same. We're just doing the same thing for different reasons.
Yes.
And over time, we will see who's really about it.
Yeah.
But right now, we just both look like the same thing. So you're cancelling your blessing because you're halving your value. Because you're sharing all of your things with someone who doesn't really see all of its value. So for me, I'm more interested, if I know who I am, I will be who I am. I don't need to say who I am. And what you will get from me, if you really pay attention, is the most beautifulest thing is to be you to the fullest. So stop watching me and vibe with me. And you will have a discovery of an ability that you may not have known, and we can both celebrate that. Rah, you sing, bruv.
Yeah.
That note, you know you're trying to rap like me, but that note you hit, I can't hit that note. Do that again. Oh, rah. And guess what? When you walk off, I'm not going to try and be the singer you will become. I see your path. But hear what? Are you gracious enough to go and do a collab now that you're shining and I do a 16? Or do you want to go and do the whole song yourself? Because if I felt that way, I would never have unboxed your talent. So that's not, you talk about spiritual and physical. In the physical, that's terrible. Because we've only got so much time on the clock. We just lost D'Angelo, Bunny Bread, we lost T.Y.
Yeah.
We're in the season of loss right now for a generation. And this will continue.
Yes.
So in the physical, there's no time for the puppy show foolishness, copy man. It's a child's movement. So we need to get patterned up now. Because we're the elders to some degree.
That's
So
right.
the work's got to get patterned up neatly now. Youngers is watching it, they're not watching, they're bored of us not patterning. Right? On the spiritual thing, it will all manifest in the end. Those who gave everything will receive everything in the next, and those who didn't won't have access because they don't have the code. And they have to go and keep doing the work. I want to finish my job. So I can't look at people who do less with the more I give. That's for them to reconcile. But for me, I will give all I have to all I know and be all I can become and see what becomes of that. Because the gifts we have, I was not the author of that gift. I can draw, I can paint, I can make music, I can orate, I can create harmonics with humans. Those things I discovered I had, and I finessed them. So if I was given a gift, then it's my job to work with that gift to the highest who gave it to me. And I know who gave me my gift. So I am in service with the gift. The self-serving with the gift can't serve you because it's not your gift. And that's my philosophy. So it's, and I'm saying on my new project, like the Most High is the executive producer.
Okay.
Yeah, because what I can't do will be done. But I will do my best. But it will be done. It is done. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I like that, bro, man. I like that. I have to say, man, you do have, like, you mentioned earlier on about having a way with words as an MC, but the way you talk is like an MC to me.
Respect.
And then you know, you're a person who when you talk, you're fluent with a lot of like, you don't just say things. You would coat it with like a saying which just gives it that punch a bit more of a power, and it hits home. So I love that. Yeah. You've worked across classrooms, boardrooms, and stages. How do you shift your storytelling when you're in front of CEOs, and one day, you know, you might be in front of poets the next?
Every single living and breathing human being has, an animal even, has an innate desire to feel seen and heard. Now, you know, you have a cat. Your cat was on its square. You don't even look at me when I walked in. That's how comfortable the space is. But once a cat knew that I was not foe, I was friend, the cat's curious, wants to come over. So you give energy to people to connect. So this is the cheat code. Never make an assumption of anyone or anything. Pay attention to everyone and everything, and try to deep their nature. Children want to be seen as present and capable. So when you send a child to the shop on a mission, to them that's like James Bond or like Mission Impossible. They got the list, the thing they have to do, and they know they have a role to play. There's 5 things they've got to get. They've got to pick those 5 things. They bring it back, and the delight they have when you thank them for delivering on that. So when I deal with children or young people, I say we're on a mission, and you are integral to this mission. And they're like, well, show me. So we complete missions together. I can get a room of 250 young people to create art on the spot and share it to a whole room of their peers the first time I meet them. And people look at me like, how? Why? Because the mission is so important to all of us, and we rise to the challenge. Now, CEOs and execs are always on mission. They don't want another mission. You know what they want? They want to play. And they don't know it. But an icebreaker game to them is terrifying and delightful. It's terrifyingly delightful to act a fool in front of your CEO. No, your CEO has to also act a fool. And the person who's too serious looks like a dickhead. The one who's like, I'm not playing this game, I'm the director. It's like, bruv, why are you even chatting like that? You know, were you not once 6 years old? There's not a single person in that room who wasn't once 6. So I tap into the 6-year-old thing. And we play these games, and all of a sudden the security guard is the coolest person. And the CEOs remembering that they weren't the coolest person in the playground. So it's all levels.
Right.
And amongst practitioners, they don't want hierarchy. When we're amongst each other, let's be each other. So I don't teach my practitioners. I practice with them. And quite often there's something in the room which is greater than what I can teach. And I invite them to be the teacher in that moment. And we practice together. So for me, it's all about equilibrium.
Bro, it's dope, man. Like, just Harry, I'm saying, like, some people don't have that mindset to just tap into these energies and be adaptable, and you know what I mean, in these environments. Like, just as Harry talking, I'm visualizing it, and I'm saying, that's dope. You know, you got to learn how to be amongst people and to talk to people, to be able to talk to a CEO, and you might have a practitioner and a CEO in the same room and be able to vibes with both of them like that. Is like, some people will just crumble at the thought. You know
they do, but they don't. Because they walk in a kind of solidified state in which they have made their mind up that this is scary. They've made their mind up this is easy. They've made their mind up it is temporary. It's none of those things. The impact of a moment could be forever. So it's not temporary. We've all had somebody we met once who changed our life forever. So allow me with that, it only was 10 minutes. It's 10 minutes of possibility. Terrifying. Maybe that child at the back whose hand is moving like that is more terrified than you. That it's the first time they've ever done that. And everyone's gone, why Shelly got her hand up? Shelly never talks. I've had children who are like selective mute or on the spectrum jump out of their chair and run to the stage holding a laptop. I'm looking at the girl like, why has she got a laptop though? She got a laptop because she types what she wants to say to you, bruv. And she went up there holding a laptop and she let the whole year group have it. And everyone went mad. I think she cussed them. But they weren't mad because they're like, she's finally told us what she thinks of us. Because her spirit was free.
Right.
So why am I so afraid when this child is more afraid? But if my fear is too great, her fear is amplified. But if I fight that fear and say, I'm here for purpose, you know what she's going to do? Let me be my purpose too. So these are the transformative experiences. I've seen children write poems that far exceed the wisdom of my peers. You know, and go up there and share it with us with a smile on their face, even though the ink is still wet on the page. Most people are, give me a week to learn it. I can't do it now. There's a fearlessness about children that we can learn much from. So I'm in a theatre of possibilities. And in that theatre, I orchestrate outcomes. And that is our principal role. The moment you're in the I space, am I cool? Am I relevant? Am I good? There is no we. I've seen people excellent and we clap for them. Well done you. You did good. Oh, but you're happy. You achieved your goals. Do you know what I want? No, you don't know what I wanted. You wanted a perfect performance. And all I got from you was a performance. So we're in the call and response. This hip hop thing that bonds us. When I say, hey, you say, you know?
Right.
You know, the roof is on fire, you know?
Yeah.
All of this was about participation.
Participation.
The cipher. You were waiting for your turn, but you were learning while waiting. And what someone did before changed what you would do. So we have to get away from the observer culture and back into participation. We are the community, and we get into this self-identity of you're signed and I'm not. You have 1 million followers, I don't. You're trending, I am, I'm not. But really, we're all going to have a hot moment, but what is the point of all of it? So, community, but done to the highest.
Where does all this powerful mindset come from, bro? Because as I hear you talk, like little things like I don't hear you do like it's pouring, and it's potent, and it has a direction. Do you know where that comes from? When it comes from yourself, or is it coming from like you said, like is it coming through you through your source?
It's today. It's you. Today it's you. I'm responding to your intention. So from the beginning of the interview, you spoke some words which created an environment. I didn't have to qualify myself. You took the time to allow me to be seen. And in that, I don't have any resistance.
Hey.
If someone mischaracterizes you, someone mispronounces your name, your physiology is already uncomfortable. Do I correct them? Will they be offended? But all I want to do is reveal the truth.
Yes.
So when you allow people to have a space, which you've done, you invite me into your space, and you've created an environment and you welcome me, I can only but be myself. So I correct myself when I talk to people. I say, I think, and I say, no, thinking takes energy, I know. So the thing that I'm qualified in is not a fault. It is me. You ask me about gardening, be only put I'm in an R in one, you know, because like it's a bit touch and go. What's going on, like in the garden? But when it comes to oration, word power, sound power, spirit power, I've placed myself in service of that. So there isn't a whole lot of thinking going on. There's more observation of me and sharing of relevant truth. My dad is a wordsmith. My dad's like, let's give it up. Like Pops, he used this word when I was a young guy, like little you, and he said to me, extemporaneous. And I looked at him like, you're just making words up now. I've never heard anyone ever, no one since has used that word. So that stuck in my head. Like it was my equivalent of abracadabra, like a magic word that no one knew. So a bit later in life, I looked it up. Extemporaneous is to speak on a subject with such mastery that you need no script. So my dad spoke that into me as a you.
That's deep. And that's dope.
Right?
I like that. Yeah. That's
Extemporaneous. So that was my word as a child. I remember I played rugby for a while. Like when I was in 5th, 6th year, went to school there, taught us Latin, we played rugby. It was a mad deviation in life. But they used to call me tenacious. And this is my rugby teacher. And I was like, well, what is it, a big brother? Like, you know what I mean? Rugby player. I said, tenacious Clapham. No, I thought, what does tenacious mean? It's just resilient. Not giving up. Won't let you pass. So, yeah, man. Words are such a qualifier. Because I've been in spaces with I was with the head of YouTube. The head of the whole thing. And they came to London for this conference, and I was involved in the conference. And we were on stage at a certain time, and they were on stage. And I got to see their itinerary, because there was an intersection of when we met them, and they were going to be on the panel. They had the time they were in the lift written down, the time the lift door would open. They orchestrated the whole of this person's time. And I'm looking at it like, you are putting me in the arenas with people whose value to you is so high. All I have is my word. So my word has to be powerful. My word has separated me from my skin. It separated me from my geography. It separated me from my age. Because a black word on a white piece of paper could be authored by anybody at any time. Bibles like 2,000 years, people will live off words. No one ever met Mark, Matthew, John, and I don't even think them man met each other. To be fair, you know. But the word lives. So when you actually can activate the power of words, you're in with a fighting chance, man. And that's what the hip hop thing does. You know, like I look at Nas. Like I met Nas. I guess Illmatic. I'm meeting a lyricist who's coming through the headphones. And I'm meeting his words. And he's talking about being on the rooftop and life's a bitch and how, you know, he's, you know, like waking up on his born day, and he's talking about the ghetto, he's talking about everything, and I can see it all. And I said, I want to meet this guy. And 2 years later, I'm sitting in a room with Nas. And I'm like, my manifestation power is real. You know, and I look at the power of his words. His words are now in the American Library. He's quoted as one of the best songwriters and lyricists, not of hip hop, but of his generation. He wrote these raps at the age of about 18. So think about that. Black boy from the ghetto, 18, generation's best wordsmith, storyteller. So to all the 17, 18-year-olds in the ghetto, in the hood, in the blocks, your pen can be your freedom. So yeah, I'm here for the words, bro. I choose them carefully.
Bro, man, I hear that, I feel that, man, and 100%, bro. Like, something you said, that manifestation. That was something where I never used to really acknowledge it.
Sure.
I never was really like, I was like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
But I believe in it, like, like in the sense that, like you just mentioned earlier on, about you have to be careful of what you say.
Absolutely.
Because what you say, what was it that someone told me? They said something, I'm misquoting them, but they're saying something like, when you speak, it now you've birthed something, it now lives.
It does.
So even when I write my bars, I make sure when I write my bars I think about it deeply now. Before I used to. I used to just write and then just let loose. Which I still do to an extent, but now I kind of ponder a bit more about what I'm saying, because I want it to go out and be. I need to be true in my intent.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get out.
Yeah.
But anyway, not to swerve away.
No, that's a real essence. That's a real essence. Like, you're a man of purpose. What you said is true. Like, I think what we're doing a lot of the time is, I think for me it's like two things. One is, in the absence of us being conscious of the word sound power, we're saying to the universe, I want it all. I'm not worthy. I'm ready, but not right now. And the universe is like,
What?
how do I help Cyclones? How do I help him? He said he's ready, but I knocked on his door, he wasn't. He said he wants it, but when I offered it to him, he had his arms like that. So the universe is confused by our lack of clarity. So we can be oblivious to manifestation. It's just the universe is like, I don't get it, right? And then there's a bunch of people who are consistent but don't believe. They say, I want this, but they never check if it's arrived. And I had this analogy of someone in Argos, just with their card, ordering something, and then going, oh, I swear it ain't arrived. They're ordering it and ordering it, but they never go to the bit where the stuff is. And then finally someone goes, bruv, are you the one ordering all that stuff? And man goes, what stuff? Go there, and there's some big ticket, and you go there, and guess what? All your blessings are there. You know what the maddest thing is? You can't even carry all those blessings, bro. You got 50 boxes because you asked 50 times, but you only ever checked once. So here you are with all your blessings, you can't even carry them. So when you don't feel blessed, have you checked? Or are you there complaining? If you're complaining, your blessing comes, you will cry because they'll arrive and there'll be more blessings than you could have imagined. You didn't even need all those blessings. So that's the word sound power for me. It's just like ask and look. A lot of people don't have the courage to look.
No.
November 21st, like, will be an important date in my life because I will look at what my manifestation is. And it won't be exactly what I thought it would be. Because if it was, I would already have it. It's greater than my imagination. Some of it will be terrifying. And some of it will be delightful. The word awe, if you look it up, is neither good nor bad. It just is. It is awesome. When you look at spirituality, when they say that no one could look at God, it's like a burning bush. That burning bush is both awesome and terrifying. And a sign of greatness. It's an approximation of something which is beyond our comprehension. So the 21st is the portal for me that will open up a transformation for me and us that will take us to the next stage of what we're about. So I delight in not knowing what it's going to be, bruv.
I feel you're
ready. And we'll be more ready.
The super organic nights, they feel more like movements, a cross between ritual and reunion. What does community mean to you in that space?
That's an evolving question. Community, in its first version, was communicate to friends. So I got my phone. My phone is just like a time machine. I've got people who I've not spoken to for eons, and people who I just saw yesterday, and they just WhatsApp message. So I will go to I went to my friends who I've not seen for years, my hip hop friends, and said, yo, I've got a little night in a basement in Hoxton, come down. Some answered the call, some didn't. A lot did. A lot came. For them it was a one pop. It was just like, come down, yo, you say, bro, you still say, all that stuff. But that was enough. Others were like, I'm here. Good to reunite with you. And then a bunch of people brought a friend who stayed longer than my friend. And they became part of that new community. And then a lady called Mariana, Ragazulu Rebel, they brought these young people from a movement called The Collective. Next thing I know, my dance has got people who are in their 40s and 50s. And I see these little 18, 17-year-olds come up in the dance. I'm like, boy, this is weird now. Like, these are youngers. But we made them feel safe because it was their first time on the mic. So then we had a younger crowd. And then we had the middle level MCs and artists who in their 20s and 30s. And then we had the elite, kind of in their bag artists who would come through. You know, the Rodney P's, SR, certain people. So community became those who came. You know, and then honestly, and I'll say this to the audience as well, not everyone who's with you will be with you for the next stage. So by the time we got to the second anniversary, we had about 50 artists we put on that stage. And I called studio time, and about half of them came studio. And then when we celebrated at the festival, maybe a third of them came to celebrate with us. And as we got ready for the third anniversary, maybe a quarter of them were left. To me, that feels like failure. And I was like, our community is diminishing, but we were growing in value, not volume. There were less of us, but we were more committed. So that's where I'm at now. You know, I feel like we're, you know, there's a Shaolin monk who said it. He just said that it's all about climbing the mountain. But the higher you climb, the less people want to keep going. Because the air gets thinner.
Yeah.
So man, it's like, it's getting a bit cold up here.
It's a bit too
and
much.
I can't breathe too good. All the views, I'm going to take a one selfie from here and I'm going back down again. So at this point, there's only a few climbers left, but what heights, man? New EP, website, brand, merch, and the best yet to come. So, you know, I'm grateful. DJ Porge, man like Juice, Rory, Ash, JJ, you know, there are so many incredible core members of the Super Organic family, and then people like Watusi87, who's just joined our collective. We've got people like Bridge, who's been with us for a minute now, A Hearts, you know, the list goes on. There's so many great artists who've been part of our story, and they inspire the journey. So yeah, we're good.
When you bring artists together, how do you ensure that like every voice is heard, not just the loudest or the most polished?
How do you make sure every voice is heard? I think for me that goes two ways. Like, I've discovered that one half is listening. If I have an intention for you, that's me. I see something in you, but outside of me, you got your own intentions. So I ask a lot of artists, what's popping? What's your mission? What you want? Are you working on a new album? Alright, cool. So when's it dropping? And I'll try and embed some of your story into what I'm doing. That's a gift exchange. And then I've got an ask. I'll play you a beat. It may not have been a beat you thought of ever rapping on. You're like, bro, I don't know about rapping like 73 BPM. I don't know about that tempo. That might not be my thing. But I'm like, but I see you on the song. So then you'll take it away and you'll study it. And if in your heart of hearts it ain't you, then it ain't for you. But if you take a chance on that, my job is to make that chance pay off. You know?
Yeah.
So that's how I try to make sure people are seen. It's like, let me acknowledge you are an artist. You've got a body of work. So if I can help bring attention to that body of work, you've won. And if I can create that one song, like my ambition a lot of the time as a producer and curator is to create that transformative moment with you. If I can produce it, great. If I can be a facilitator of it, also great. But let it not be just another gig.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make it into like an event, something special.
Yeah, like I've hosted shows at like Wembley Arena, I've hosted shows at Roundhouse, I've hosted shows at Royal Albert Hall, like I've done preeminent venues. But that is a showreel thing. Like some of the most transformative things that happen in a dive bar, basement, 50 capacity, toilet ain't saying one, there is no green room. Yeah, like it's all a bit rough and ready, but a piece of magic happens. So for me, it's like, don't watch face. Yeah, this is a moment, and it could actually be quite a thing.
I was gonna ask you and say, have you ever turned down like an opportunity, financial or high profile, because it doesn't align with your ethos?
Sometimes I feel like that is real, like that I might have done that, but I don't think I give off the energy that I'm looking for that. So people know not to ask me.
Right.
Like I don't look like that guy. Like I try to be as consistent in who I am and what I put out to the best of my abilities. So a lot of that cash grab try thing, I'm like, knock yourself out, man. Like, let me know how it goes.
Right. But
I've never been that guy. You know, I'm a bit of, I have a vision and I want to see it through. So if you got a vision and I'm moved by it, I will apply my abilities in service to your vision. You know, if you want to make money, a quick thing, I'll even listen to you. But any time I've ever listened to someone, as my friend who's had a quick thing, I've woken up in a madness, bruv. I've been like, why am I in a big hall with all these people chanting?
Yeah.
And my car's in the other side of town and you driven me here and everyone in the car's like, yo, it's so nice to meet you. It's like, it's some cult thing. I'm out of here and you're getting deleted from my phone bill.
yeah.
Because what got me there was friendship.
Yeah.
I trusted you.
Yeah.
And you needed me to go and do this quick money thing. So yeah, snakes and ladders, man. I dodge all the snakes, bruv.
Hey.
Dodging the snakes, bruv. find a good ladder here and there, and I'll walk the rest of the way. Couple of times when I got proposition, it was always quite subtle. It was always quite subtle. And the thing I want people to look out for is not the person who comes to you with a briefcase full of money. That's a joke thing. It's compromise of integrity.
Right.
It's when somebody says, on this occasion, would you be willing to accept this? And
Okay.
you know, 99% of the time, it would never be acceptable to you. Why is this the one time you are going to make an exception? Because in this universe, the one exception is often the one example.
Right.
And someone will say, in a universal way, was that you in that video? Was that you that they said that you did this? And your rebuttal is, but it was just once. How many one time was the last time for so many people? So don't let the one time be your last time. You can build a reputation in 10 years and you can blow it in 10 minutes. And I mean blow it, bruv. So I'm very mindful of the bending of integrity that are just for him or just for that or for this occasion or just if you could. Because those adjustments can throw you well off course. Yeah. You know, I'll give you a cast iron example, and it's just like, I guess it's a confessional. I'm hosting an event for a youth project sponsored by a big client, and the videographer is filming, man, and he just comes up to me and goes, you got a voice, you got such a great voice. I was like, oh, slick, big up. And he just left it at that, and then he must have called me off job and said, I've got this job for a big client, and I want you to do the voiceover. And I thought, right, my voice must be good. Some big client job. Turns out it's McDonald's. And I'm like, I can't sell a burger for you, bro. Man can't sell no burgers for nobody. I just can't do it. I know what goes into that.
Yeah.
I can't do it. So I listened to him still, and he just said, well, they've got this new thing, which is a kiosk. And then everyone knows the kiosk thing now. You guys have got a kiosk, and then we want you to explain how it works. And I was like, I just picture all these people with their little hats on and their little apron and listening to a voice. I think, well, if it's going to be anyone's voice, I might as well do it for them. And explain to them how the damn machine works. So I did it. But for me, I could just picture all these people being told another thing to do. And I thought, let me do it in a way that they can go, all right, cool, I understand it better. So I was communicating to the staff or something that they decided to do. So it's a nuance for me. Like, life isn't all black and white. So I did it. But I could never have been on the front line selling the product. These people have chosen to do this job, tough job, and I was trying to help them understand the next stage of what they did. So that was that. We've all got something we've got to answer to. Is the book 1984.
Yes.
I want to ruin it, so if you haven't read it, just read it and just skip this bit. But there's a thing called Room 101. And in Room 101 is the thing that you fear the most. And in the book, everyone's Room 101 is different. And the test really is your fear greater than your faith? So to opportunity, we're afraid of missing out. We're afraid of being skipped. We're afraid of not having our chance. Whatever your fear is, you have to overcome it with the faith of what you want. So I've turned stuff down because it's not for me. It looks great. It's not for me. And what is for me, I don't know when it's coming, but I'll know when it's alright.
When it's there,
Yeah.
In the past, so you've had interviews where you've hinted in the past about projects that didn't land or visions that fell apart. Can you share like one of those moments and what it taught you about yourself?
Right. That's a tricky question because it brings up a lot of thoughts. The immediate one was something that didn't happen, and it's vivid for me because my manifestation track record was pretty good. So it was a reach, but it was very obvious when I thought what didn't work. I had this thing called was it Songbook? Yeah, BMT Songbook. And I done my first one. I can't go to my friend's house today, where I did the event. But Songbook was just taking it back to the vinyl days when we used to go and buy vinyls, and you go to that record shop just for the beat or Red Records or whatever. And before you got to play the record, you held it, and you was on a bus or the train, and all you had was but to read it, and you broke the sleeve, broke the seal for the import, and you pulled it out and you read the credits. Bob Powers on engineering, this person, you know, you got to learn that Busta Rhymes' real name was Trevor Smith, you know, all the credits and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I did a night which was celebrating the depth of music, the images, the stories, the lyrics and stuff, and that was great. So I did a sequel to it, and I was super excited, and I shot the promo, everyone got excited, I picked my list of people, it was incredible. And then time ran away and things didn't go how I thought they'd go, and the window got smaller and smaller, and the unthinkable, I had to cancel it. And it broke me, because I was like, you're a liar. You've told everyone this is going to happen, it's not going to happen. And I felt very, very kind of like, I felt very fake to undo it all. I thought my reputation's in tatters. I told everyone I was going to do it, and now people are going to think I'm a maybe guy. I don't like maybe guys, they're long. And then I realised, give yourself a break, man. Like, you're human. Am I going to suffer to prove a point? Or am I going to accept that life has dealt me a different card? And no one will remember it. No one's going to remember the night that never happened. It was just a couple of phone calls. Everyone was like, that's a shame, don't worry about it. And there was such a kindness that people were not like doubting me. You know, so I kind of learned to be more kind to myself. I am not my events.
Yes.
I'm not even my professional reputation. You know, I'm a human being doing awesome things with the help of other people, and sometimes the human being cannot do the awesome thing. And I was like, you know, it doesn't make me less of a person. And if I'm going to last, I'm going to have to rest sometimes and take a couple of L's sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, it taught me that, pretty much.
When pressure builds, expectation, leadership, the weight of being the one who inspires, what's your release valve?
I love that. I love that, because it is, don't try not to own down. Yeah, you're right. Just don't be that guy. What's my release?
Yeah.
Not sure. I'm not sure. You know, I feel like I'm in purpose. So I inhabit more and more. Like, the person who I am is also me. So who you see is me. Like, I won't chat to you like this, and when the camera done, I'm not chatting like that. Like, it is principally me. Some of my most joyous moments on this planet has been in communion with other people, watching them light up. Some of the most warmest experiences can be a response to something exchanged with somebody. I was in a primary school, bruv. Everyone there spoke Spanish. You know, I just happened to be in the school this day, and I was just there because someone had heard of what I do at another school, and they were asking if I could come, and the budget was terrible, bruv. It was like, it was expensive. I was like, I feel to go, so let me there. I went there, and you know, mostly all these Spanish kids. And I talked to them. Well, someone as young as 3, bruv, and I'm trying to drop knowledge on these 3-year-olds. They look at me like, I don't get it, but it's great. I'm like, cool. And then I think the second year group, wherever, they came through, and I'm talking to these children. They were just so excited with life. And there's just, you know, one girl at the back, and I was asking, where are you all from? I'm half, you know, Polish, I'm Chinese, I'm Spanish. They're from all over the world. And young girl, she's half this, half Ghanaian. I said, yeah, representing Ghana. I love that. Cool. Gave my talk, whatever. And then finished. The kids all cheering, yay! And they got off to their thing. And then 2 of these kids came running up. And they ran up and they just hugged me. I was just standing there like, raw. Like, that meant the world to her. whatever it was happening, it meant the world to her. And I'm like, you know what? That's a life-affirming moment for me. Just the safety that, you know, it's not something which, you know, in this world, human beings, whether you're a young person, who, let's be honest, in this education environment and industry, that's not encouraged. It's not something that I expect or even see as within the infrastructure education, you know. But this child just ran at man. I was just like, rah. It was the freedom she had, which I think is sanctified. And when I see my oldest supporter of BMT, her name is Colleen. She's in her mid-70s. She comes from South London, and she has come to almost every event.
Wow.
I'm talking basement hip-hop jam. She's coming down the stairs with her stick. And the only night she doesn't come is when she's not well. And she buys a ticket and she messages me and says, can you donate that to somebody? She's a white woman from South Africa in her late 70s. And just like the child and just like this elder, I'm full of why. Why? Why are you so lit by this thing? Of course, I never get to ask the child, you know what I mean? It was just like, she went off with her teachers, another good session, cool. But I asked Colleen, and Colleen just said, you know, like, I grew up around like Steve Biko. I grew up in apartheid South Africa. And there's something about the freedom that I feel inside your thing that is akin to what I felt we were fighting for. So I'm here for it. That is in my public life that I enjoy these moments that I take home. My family, obviously, that's a big part of my identity. I love drawing, I love cooking. But cooking to me is again manifestation. Just, you know what I mean? Just alchemizing this, that, get the black rice, get the oyster mushroom, chop season. It's my culture, half Filipino, half West Indian. I study food. So that's my freedom. And I love painting, man. I still pick up a brush, show me a landscape and give me some time, give me some acrylics or paper, oils.
And you get busy.
I get busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all of that.
Have you ever felt like close to losing yourself inside the work? And how did you find your way back if you did?
Oh yeah, I've died several times, dude. Just crashed and burned. I think the reinvention of yourself should always have new modifications. You should always upgrade yourself.
Yeah.
Just a strong word to anyone in service to a company. Do not give your all. Like, give what is written and embellish it with your character, but do not be in full service. Because when the winds change, you will be discarded. It's just a fact.
It is.
It's just a fact. And anyone who thinks differently, you can hold that thought. It's calm. I'm not here to dissuade people. But I've never been anywhere in the corporate or charity sector that has ever felt essentially safe. And even freelance is treacherous. So keep a portion of yourself for yourself. You know, people save for their pension. Just save a part of yourself for yourself. Because when you get discarded, made redundant, if you say something out of pocket according to the powers that be, and they don't like how you spoke your truth, and you get removed, if something happens to you and people don't believe in you because of some kind of whatever, clash or opinion issue, you know, you will be heartbroken by the way you'll be discarded. So I've been through that many times. I've had people just turn on me, bruv, in those places. People I've advocated for and fought for. And no, I just expect it. I don't have a problem with it today. I just think there's a lack in those people that I don't have. I run my own company. I've got tremendous accountability. I've failed people on occasions, and when I have failed people, I've had to look that in the face. And I've had to ask you, how have I failed you?
You're right.
What is the thing that went wrong? And then they tell me, and if I can't fix it, I just got to carry the blame. But somewhere down the line, trust me, something will happen. It will give me a resource or a tool. I'm back in the phone and I say, bro, remember that thing that went wrong? I think we can fix it. I think the longest it's taken me is like 2 years. You know? And the guy was like, you still remember? I said, yeah, I remember. I keep a ledger. And we did the thing, and the thing was amazing. We did it at the Tower of London. And this guy's like, So of all the people you could have called to do this task, I said, yeah, you. Because you know, you can't get a gig at the Tower of London. I said, yeah, but I had the means to get you in. And we've been friends ever since. And the measure is not the failure, it's what you do when you fail. And that's the lack of accountability I see in the corporate and charity sector. For them, they write off, that's just today's argument. There's no character in that. But, you know what I mean? We're all going to cross swords, we're all going to make mistakes. But in terms of burnout, I try to be measured about what I give. And I try to be more, like, build capacity. So measured means that you don't give what you can't afford to give. If I've only got £1,000 and you need to borrow money and you need £900, I don't have 900 to give you, because if you don't give it back to me in the right week, my whole world collapses. So I'm placing the burden of responsibility onto you. You're a man who's missing £900, bro. So I don't know if you could carry that burden. Like you know what I mean?
I hear you.
So maybe I can only give you 500. You give it back to me on time, I'm great. If you don't, I'll find a way, I'm cool. So that's that. And then capacity is, why don't I have 10 grand? Like, can I not have more so that I give you that grand? You ask for 9, I give you £1,000. You can't give it back to me. That's just more a measure of where you're at. It doesn't affect where I'm at. So better communication, and that's two-way. If I'm in trouble, struggling, finding something difficult, it doesn't make me less of a person until I'm having a tough time. A lot of people look at you, bruv. What's that cloning shop? You having a tough time? Raw, yo, but my man's going. He's like, yeah, of course you're gonna get some pasta, because everyone looks at us as warriors. But I think the greatest warrior can admit to their own inner circle aspects of their vulnerability.
Definitely.
Which is also a risk.
Definitely.
Some people will panic if you are showing signs of vulnerability, and some people will hold you down.
You
know, but I don't think there's anything in pretending in your safe spaces that you're okay, because when you come undone, there will be nobody there to catch you because you fooled them all. You know, and I think that's the point I'm trying to make. It's like, we're all gonna come undone, we're all gonna fall over at some point. Just let people know how you are, so they know how to help you.
I definitely believe that, bro. Nice. You speak about everyday stories of black men and women. What to you is the power of the everyday?
It's all we have. All we have is the everyday. We made every day so ordinary, but the older I get, when I wake up, I try and say a prayer. I try not to go straight and scroll, but it's a miracle that you have a day. What you do with it may not be miraculous. You may do less than, but the fact you have it. You know what I mean? People are chasing millions, but a millionaire will trade that all for another day of life. You know, this time thing is the most valuable currency we have, and I think in the everyday, there's so many opportunities for greatness. You know, like at my ends, no one looks at anyone in the park. It's barely a park. It's the piece of grass that I haven't sold yet. And I just felt to smile and say hello this particular day to everybody I passed on the path. They loved it, but it was surprising. Because they're so used to this guy with a hoodie can't have no good for me. I shouldn't look at anyone's face. You go to certain places, the countryside, you go back to the Caribbean, some people, they will tell you off if you don't say hello to them in the morning. You know what I mean? So that's an example of everyday awesomeness. How someone's smile can really lift your spirits. When someone asks you how you are, but actually listens to your answer. You know, and just moments of kindness, man. I remember I was rushing to go and do a workshop, and I'd forgotten my Oyster. And I don't like paying on my phone, so I didn't have nothing to pay for the train. And I was just there like, rah, man's gonna be triple late now. I've got to go all the way back home and get my stuff. And the guy who worked at the station was just like, what's up? I said, yo, I just forgot my Oyster. And we negotiated an arrangement where he would pay for my travel. He paid for my one-day travel card. And I figured out I could pay him from my phone, the money. And it freed me up. But the fact he cared to help me solve the problem, it just made my day great. So our platform will tell a story about that. BMT Stories will talk about a guy who helped a guy at a train station.
Yeah.
We also have like a you in Congo who there's just like a mountain of rubbish and electric circuits, and he builds a car, like a whole working car, bruv. You know, and some of the smartest kids in this country.
Yo, what's outside is within. The mind regulates the hand that masters the pen. The pen is mightier than the sword, but the tongue is mightier still. The stargate to the mind's revealed. The vortex.